clean draft, in triplicate.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a second. I've got things to loot. Shall become a Temeria. Yeah, it's pretty much... It's going to become either probably a tributary or a... It shall lose all of its independence in general. Depends on how it's split up and how the Emperor wants to deal with it. Like those individuals we're talking about, Toussaint is a independent kingdom.
A shame I have no time.
Pretty much a tributary, as it were. But we can talk to the ambassador. Oh, apparently we can't.
Be so kind and do not disturb.
So we are looking for the portrayal of the other races. Yes. The many books and many Yennefer. So the great quest of finding Yennefer has ended.
Geralt, that tunic. You look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emir's court?
And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
So, yeah. So I can either poke at her saying our agents, or I could say all grown up. Yeah, let's go to the more sentimental
How
route.
about that? She's grown up?
It's been years since you trained together at Kaer Morhen. A great deal has changed.
You haven't. Not a bit.
I missed those awkward compliments of yours. But let's focus on Ciri, all right?
Right. Emir said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
So what does the Wild Hunt want from her?
The Wild Hunt? What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address.
The snarky
I know as
prick.
much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I'd prefer not to think about it, really.
So, where's the last time you saw her?
So where's Ciri been seen exactly?
In two places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords? Secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
didn't you contact me sooner?
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse?
She might
Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
She may be a little miffed about the fact that over The Witcher 1 and Witcher 2, Geralt and Triss have been a couple. But after regaining his memory, Triss kind of realized that Geralt might go back to Yennefer and have to go do other things. No.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
She does still care. So, we've got 2 places to head to. She's going to teleport. Yeah, so Geralt doesn't enjoy teleportation at all. One, it's incredibly queasy of an event. It makes him nauseous, and makes pretty much everyone nauseous to go through it because it bends time and space. Another reason is teleportation isn't exactly an exact magic that can go terribly, terribly wrong. So we have, well, we have books and such, but we have the pictures of the descriptions of Ciri. I believe these were actually concept drawings of her.
Scars healed nicely.
Yes, Ciri also has a scar over her left eye, very similar to Geralt's, but also different. She received it when she was more of a child. But yes, this is the map of the north. I believe this is the proper way, yes. Which we can get an easier view. This place. So, we were here in White Orchard. We are now in Vizima, which is the royal palace in the north. This is the expansion of the Blood and Wine, Toussaint. Yeah, its suggested level is 35. We'll get to that eventually. I definitely enjoyed that one immensely. But that's definitely an endgame DLC. Kaer Morn is up here in the mountains. It's technically in Redania, I believe. But yes, so the Nilfgaardians have passed across the river, and this is Redania. It is kind of the last northern kingdom that is still opposing the Nilfgaard. You had Cadwyn, which was King Henselt's kingdom from the last game, which was occupying this space here, which I believe parts of it got eaten by Redania as Nilfgaard invaded and took it over. I don't know if Cadwyn, I don't remember, but we were here when that event took place from The Witcher 2. Yennefer is going to the Skellig Isles to look at a explosion. And its suggested level is level 16, so we're not high enough level. Again, this is an open world game. I could go to the Skellig Isles right now and head right there and completely bypass everything else. And the game more or less takes care of the storyline issues of going to different places at different times. But it's definitely suggested you go to Velen and then Novgorod. Velen it's essentially northern Temeria. Flotsam should be somewhere in there, but I don't remember exactly where it was. It might have been around here. But then Novgorod, which is now part of Redania, I think it was always part of Redania, is it's the next level area, and it also has a level cap. Again, I could just go there and or I can meet up with Triss. But Velen is probably the next place to go. One of the interesting things is the map of Velen and the map of Novgorod are actually the same continuous map, so you can travel from one place to the other. It's just they'll drop you off in different places. So this is the city of Novgorod, and then this is the region. So this is the river that is on the map, and it splits what was Temeria and what is Redania apart from one another. And you've got Oxenfurt. And then, I believe this was the forward advance of the Nilfgaardian army, because this has kind of turned into the front line of the war. But we're going to definitely be going to Velen first, and traveling there and questing about in Velen. I think the crossroads should be someplace. Might be here. Or here, where we'll get dumped out. For now, we have an ambassador to talk to about the state of the world. Letter to Yennefer, my dear friend, thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering your early attempt to reach me via Megascope. I'm trying to limit my magic communication to the absolute minimum. One never knows who's listening, don't you agree? I am delighted you have found a position at your gracious Emperor's court and wish you the best of luck in search for his daughter. It is good to know that Emir's intentions for her have become more, how shall I put it, mundane. Perhaps in these circumstances an agreement regarding the lodge will prove possible after all. In response to your first question, I can state beyond all doubt that Ciri has not appeared anywhere south of the Yaruga. Believe me, I could recognize her magic signature in my sleep. I have not had any contact with Triss for a long time. I only know that things in Novgorod have taken an ill turn. She mentioned something earlier about fleeing to Kovir, but I'm afraid that in the current political climate that amounts to an impossible daydream. I hope I will soon be able to join you in Vizima. First, however, I must take care of some urgent matters in Clare. With my fondest regards, Frigilla Vigo. P.S. Thank you for the news about Geralt. He always seems to land on his feet, doesn't he? Frigilla Vigo is a member of the Lodge of Sorceresses. The Lodge of Sorceresses is a collection of sorceresses that were actually behind the politicking and essentially the entirety of The Witcher 2's plotline. They attempted to stabilize the north by removing unstable rulers. This backfired because Vizimir... it's about a different god. Emrys Vizimir... Emrys, the Emperor of Nilfgaard, he had other plans and he sent his agents to... It's beast oil. He sent his own mechanisms in place to destabilize the north by killing off all of the leaders, instead of just some of the more dangerous ones. So the Lodge's attempts to stabilize the north ended up making it weak enough to be conquered by Nilfgaard. But the ambassador should
Ambassador Varatra?
Very important information.
Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
probably go over some of the things I mentioned beforehand, but he'll do it better. So the war, Velen, Novgorod, Skellig. Let's talk how the war's going.
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the fact that Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony. Our offensive was going splendidly until winter came. Edirn was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows. Only a weakened Kedwin remained, and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoys, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwen, his ally. This attack took the Kedweni by surprise. They were still mourning the loss of their king. Rudderless and dejected, they laid down their arms after a few lost skirmishes and joined Radovid. And so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only one powerful one.
Had a note of admiration here. What about Kovir?
What about Kovir?
Kovir values its neutrality, enough not to lend its armies, or more importantly, even its coin to either side. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emir var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Couldn't you just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching, not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
So yeah, Radovid's an ass, and he attacked his ally to land grab, essentially, and to bring up absolute control over all of the forces in the north. But he is the last remaining king of the north.
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever, perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps. Thus, we've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron. I advise you well. Avoid him.
Considering he's named, probably won't be able to do that, but considering we're also going there and he controls the entire area, probably not going to avoid him. But Novgorod.
Any news from Novigrad? Is the free city still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenfurt, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear? They seek reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly, and so it promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty. Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants. I've been stationed in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like that city is doing well. But Skellig!
What's new in Skellige?
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other, pillage, occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
Sound awfully confident. What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
And that is the state of the world. The north is, well, Redania is as strong as it can be, but the rest of the north is weak. But
Thanks for your help.
Think nothing of
Nilfgaard
it. May the great sun light your path.
Nilfgaard has definitely taxed themselves in this war to their limits. And Radovid in Redania knows this. So he's taken advantage of that fact.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
They're
Citrus
washed.
and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
Yeah, mentioned something of the sort. So long.
Yeah, so he knows. Then again, he is essentially the head servant.
A deserter from the Skoya 10.
Map marker. Ah, so yes, this is giving me the map markers to essentially all of the areas I can fast travel to.
Waar en I'd fain.
Glory to the great sun. Oh, at least it's not an insult. I believe I need to go to this door to fast travel. Yes. So I can leave. Oh, wait. No, no, no. There is a quest available. I'm going to check that out first. There's a quest available in the center here. Oh, you. Oh, it's Gwent. Don't want to play Gwent. No, thank you.
See you.
I don't feel like playing Gwent, mate. I will have to play Gwent eventually, but not today. It's actually getting decently late. I actually think we might end this stream here tonight. Leave our travels to Velen for next week, which I also do know that next week it will be on Friday instead of Saturday or Sunday. This schedule shall be as confusing as possible because my work schedule is as tumultuous as possible at the moment. So I shall keep you and posted by putting information down below in the Twitch feed, which that will also be put linked directly to my Twitter feed, which a link for that is down also in the description of the Twitch stream, along with the link to the YouTube channel, which the archives for this go up to every single week. And if anyone is joining me from YouTube, the link for the Twitch stream, which will be up at 6 p.m. Central, which will again be next week, Friday. I would very much like to see you all there. And to everyone else, and to everyone again, thank you for joining me, and I bid you all adieu. And good night.